What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already found us, you can search us up on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, William Fratelli Cooking and Guns channel, where we post a it's basically a hybrid channel now. We started off as a cooking channel on YouTube and other platforms, TikTok. We're now a hybrid channel. Hybrid meaning a 50-50 kind of channel between gun safety reviews and gun reviews, other types of medical equipment reviews we do on Sundays only. Sunday-Gunday is the title of our Sunday gun content, where we're collaborating with a few YouTube channels, Gun Freak Nation, Trey 57 Productions, and the Alert Zone TV, to name a few. We're gonna give shout outs towards the end of the video like we usually do. But we mainly post cooking content throughout the week. When it comes to our channel, we post about at least 1 to 2 cooking videos a week, and show you, our recipes or whatever, on how we marinate and grill or fry, or how we do our content for the cooking channel. We post the gun reviews. We try to post as much as we can on TikTok, but they're a little bit strict when it comes to gun content. So we're mainly on YouTube for our Sunday-Gunday. We're not putting any of that content on TikTok unless it's something that we're just doing, like our last video, which was kind of like a classroom environment review on certain topics that are acceptable for TikTok that don't display any weapons. We posted one gun review where we started it off without the firearm, and I guess they didn't detect the firearm or whatever, but we try to just post our other topics that don't have an actual firearm in it, like gun safety and concealed carry options, different things like that. So we're gonna try to post as much as we can in all these social media outlets and see which ones give us a hard time or which ones don't. So tonight we have a firearm review. It's gonna be a review on a Glock. Glock is a pretty known model here in the United States. Most police departments use Glock. Most departments around the world use Glock for a reason. They're very dependable. Tonight we're gonna do a review on the Glock 10mm. This is a Glock 10mm. This is a Glock 29, if you can see. This gun is subcompact, meaning it's not the full size, but it's not the medium size. This is something called a subcompact. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the magazine. The magazine is loaded for YouTube, for the safety officers. We have a loaded magazine right here. We have nothing in the weapon. Pulling the slide back. Nothing in the chamber. Nothing in the magazine for the YouTube safety officers. Go ahead and rack that slide. Dry fire. Right, we're clear for YouTube. Glock 29. This is the most powerful Glock on the market that you're going to be able to find right now out of all the models of Glock. You got your 9mm, you have 380. Personally, what I carry for backup when I'm on duty, I told you guys I'm a police officer in the state of Florida. We're going to go ahead and do a disclosure like we usually do. I just wanted you guys to see this weapon for the beginning of the video. That way you can see what we're going to do our review on. Like we say as usual on the channel, this channel's for educational purposes only. We preach lawful self-defense. We're by no means gun fanatics. We are not giving any legal advice. We're simply giving voicing our opinions, and we're not claiming to be firearms experts. We just want you to be aware of reasons why you should maintain your firearms, responsibly maintain those firearms, and what you should and should not do. Another message to the trolls out there: if we get any trolls on the channel, we're not going to entertain it. You're just simply going to get blocked. Like all of our other partners that we're collaborating with, they do the same. They just block you. They're not going to entertain it. We're coming from 15 years of law enforcement experience. Myself, as I mentioned before, I've been an armed security officer in the state of Florida for coming up on 16 years now. I've been doing that kind of work since I was 19, not 16. Been armed security guard since I was 19 years old in the state of Florida. Been doing the same job ever since. Been a police officer now in the state of Florida since January of 2014. And that's our experience. That's where we're coming from. Just want you guys to be aware of what we're doing on this channel. Again, we're not giving legal advice. We're just simply giving you reasons to be safe with your firearm. We want you to be responsible with a firearm, and go ahead and do this review here. The Glock 29 is subcompact, so we're talking about a weapon that feels good in the hand. My hands are about medium to large. You know, they're not small, but they're not huge. They're medium to large, so bigger size hand. This weapon's very it can be a thick weapon. It's like a brick. I could compare it to like a small shorter brick if you have it in the hand. This is good for concealed carry depending on who you are. If you like to dress up, you know, you like to wear your jeans, if you like to wear cargo pants, cargo shorts, anything, you might need a belt with this kind of a weapon, because the weight on this weapon, the size, you already know it's a subcompact. So this is the Glock Model 29. This is subcompact. The bigger brother to this weapon is the Glock 20. The Glock 20 is a lot longer. The slide's not too much longer. This weapon right here, the slide is almost as long as a Glock 19 or a Glock 23, which is the Glock 19 is the 9mm version of this weapon. Slide's a little bit longer. The overall length of this weapon is almost 7 inches this way, and the height on this weapon is 4.53 inches, so it's about 4.5, almost 5 inches height-wise. When you're talking about the Glock 20, which is the big brother to this weapon, it's a lot longer this way. As far as weight, this weapon right here weighs about 26.8 ounces, so almost 27 ounces. It's not light, it's not super heavy, but it's not ultra light. Like the review I did on the I showed you guys my everyday carry, the 357 Magnum Smith & Wesson. This is about more than twice the weight of that firearm, but it's still a nice firearm. I bought this firearm because I always wanted to own a 10mm. Like I said, the 10mm right here is the strongest Glock on the market. It exceeds the strength of a 45 ACP, so this is stronger than the 45. Pretty manageable. I took it to the range up in Fort Lauderdale when we went up there a couple of weeks ago. I put some rounds through it. Took my sister with me. She's an armed security supervisor now. I let her fire this. She was very impressed with this weapon. I was impressed with it. Haven't fired 10mm before. It was my first time. I didn't want to get the big brother version, the Glock 20, simply because as far as law enforcement and security, has some standards when it comes to bullet size and specifics. Some of these weapons, like the 357, could be chambered in 2 different rounds. So you can have a weapon that's 357 like the one I have, but you can carry less pressured round in it, like the 38 Special. So for security, for example, or law enforcement, you're limited to 9mm, 40 or 45 caliber. Also 380 or 38 Special for security. In this case, this weapon is just 10mm. There's no other round for it, so something like this, you would not be able to carry it if you were working security in the state of Florida, at least. I don't know about other states. But it's a very nice weapon for you to own as a private citizen. You know, have it like me, for example. I keep it in a holster. I'm going to show you the holster that I have right here. I have a universal, this is basically a universal snap holster right here. It carries an extra magazine right here. Set this weapon down so you guys can see it. Extra magazine right here. This mag is loaded for YouTube. All right, magazine is loaded. It's going back in the pouch. So you have your universal holster here. It fits all kinds of different weapons. You could put a full-size weapon through here. I think I ordered this on Temu. For you guys that don't know about Temu, they have a lot of good stuff that you can order on there. So I have this holster right here. Personally, I could conceal carry this weapon. I choose not to because I rather have I usually carry a subcompact weapon on me when I'm not working. When I'm off duty, I do carry something subcompact like this. But considering the weight and the thickness of this weapon, I just choose to carry this weapon sometimes when I'm traveling out of the county. When I'm traveling like Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, where I'm from, I go up there a lot. I'll keep this weapon in the holster like this, snapped, secured in the holster. Right, I'll go ahead and pop that other mag in it. We're not gonna do it for this video, but I'll stick this in the center console just to have a weapon in the vehicle while I'm traveling or whatever. You know, you could carry the weapon on you. If you're comfortable with carrying a heavier weapon like this, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with this weapon. It's a lot shorter, so you could put your shirt over it. You're not really gonna see it. But for me personally, over the years, you know, some time's gone by, we have these micro 9 pistols similar to what I carry. I carry the 357 Magnum just because I'm old school. I like that weapon. I like to carry maximum firepower. But you have some of these like 380 Glocks. The one I carry for when I'm on duty. I could carry that when I'm off duty, and I could wear gym shorts. Basically, I'm wearing some like swimming trunks just to be comfortable. Here in Florida, it gets a little bit hot, so you're walking around all day, you don't want all that weight on you. Me personally, I'm not gonna carry something like this on me, but other people might be comfortable with carrying something like this, especially if you're living in a colder climate, like living in Michigan, New York, any of these states that are a lot cooler, that you have to dress up a little bit more, like a jacket, like this windbreaker I'm wearing, then I would carry something like this. I also have a shoulder holster that I can conceal carry, something like this, but I'm indoors right now. The AC's on here in Florida. It's about 75 degrees right now here where I'm at in Florida. And so if I were to go, yeah, 75 degrees, and it's nighttime, so it's not daytime. If I were to go outside right now, I wouldn't be realistically wearing a windbreaker like this to conceal this firearm. So for me, this is a little bit too much. I got this weapon just because I wanted to have 10mm. I haven't had a weapon chambered in 10mm forever. Like, I've never had one, so I went ahead and bought it. So we went through the firearm size. It's subcompact. This weapon right here does not, there's no 10mm on the market that is chambered in 10mm that's compact. They don't have one, as far as I know. Maybe they might have came up with one recently. This weapon right here is only available in full size or subcompact, this size. So yeah, there's no in between, like the Glock 19, which would be a compact weapon. Glock 19, which is a 9mm, would be like the version of this in 9, and but the subcompact version of this would be the Glock 26, kind of like a brick, like a short brick. And then you have the full size, which is the Glock 17. And then you have the 40 caliber, which I have one that's issued to me by my department. It's a department issued Glock in 40 caliber. The one I have is a Glock 23, which is the compact version again, which 10mm doesn't have one on the market as far as I'm aware. And then you have the shorter version, which would be more comparable to this one for 40 caliber Glock, which would be the Glock 27. And then the big brother for 40 caliber would be Glock 22. You know, a lot of people that carry that model when they're on duty, that work law enforcement or security. Capacity. This weapon with the magazine, 10mm. The capacity on this weapon, since it's subcompact, is 10. So you have 10 in the magazine. Set the magazine aside, and you could go ahead and top one off on the chamber if you want. Me personally, I don't top one off. My rule of thumb has always been, when I have a weapon that's like this and it's a double stack magazine, this is a double stack, meaning that the bullets stack, they're double stacked. This is a thicker magazine, it's not a single stack. A single stack would be something like what I have as my backup weapon for work. It's a 380. They also have the 9mm version of it, which is a single stack. It would be a lot thinner than this magazine, and it would hold less ammo, obviously. So something double stack, if I have anything that's double stack, my rule's always been, I'm not gonna top off a round just because double stack is has more ammo. So this is 10. 10 rounds of 10 millimeter plus one. So you could add a maximum of 11 rounds of 10 millimeter in this weapon. This weapon's pretty similar to the 357 Magnum round. I would say that I would compare this. I'm not trying to say that they're the exact same weapon, obviously. They're not. They're separate, you know, they're different weapons. But this is a pistol right here. So I would compare this to the 357 Magnum, but pistol version, basically. You could get anywhere from 180 grain bullets for this weapon, which I have here. I have one magazine that has the second mag that's in this pouch right here. It's 180 grain ammo, so the grain's a little bit lower. And then I have the mag that's loaded into the weapon right here. This is 200 grain ammo. So you can get some hotter stuff like the 200 grain or 180 grain. I don't know if they have anything less than that. I don't know too much about the grains when it comes to the bullets for this weapon, but you have capacity 10 to 11 rounds. We already gave you the weight and the size of the weapon. Very it's a comfortable weapon to shoot. This is a striker fired weapon, like the more modern firearms now are striker fired. They have a mechanism in here that's a striker, so every time a round goes in, it gets hit with the striker. There's no hammer here like the Beretta that we showed you guys, the older school version of pistols before these pistols came out. Striker fired, so this weapon is comparable to the more modern handguns when it comes to like Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Taurus. Yeah, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Taurus. Even, I don't know about Beretta, but there's all kinds of different models. There's models that we haven't even heard of that are striker fired. So this is not a hammer fired weapon, it's a striker. We went through the caliber already. This caliber is 10 millimeter. This is very potent. This is like a heavier, more strong 40. A lot of these 10 millimeters can fire 40 out of them. I've never tried to do that with this weapon. I'm just shooting strictly 10 millimeter out of it. Very nice weapon. This is the model 29, like we told you, Glock 29. You have your model number on these firearms. For Glock, I know for sure. You have something called a model number, which is the Glock 29. And then you have your caliber, which is 10 millimeter. So you have a bunch of these different Glocks that come with different models. You have to know the model, obviously, for whatever one you want to choose. But if you Google, let's say you want to buy something like this, you want a 10 millimeter Glock, you're going to have to know what model it is. So this one happens to be Glock 29. Very comfortable weapon. Recoil on this weapon, it has a little bit of a recoil. We took it to the range, like I told you guys, fired it. Me personally, I'm used to carrying, when I'm on duty as a police officer, I carry a 40 Glock, which I think our next review is going to be on that. It's very similar to this weapon when it comes to the slide, but as far as the capacity down here, the one I carry for work is a little bit longer because I'm using it for duty use, for law enforcement purposes. You want to have some more ammo, just to, you know, you have a fuller size weapon. But the slide on this one, the slide I noticed on this weapon, 10 millimeter, is a little bit longer on the top, and it's because you're trying to accommodate a cartridge of 10 millimeter. The 10 millimeter cartridge is a lot longer as it compares to other cartridges. If you can see right here, this is a 10 millimeter cartridge. It's a pretty long cartridge. So I don't know for sure, but in my opinion, I think they made this top longer as compared to like a Glock 19, a mid-sized Glock, to accommodate that type of a cartridge, because sometimes you'll load the weapon and you'll notice that the weapon is loaded, but sometimes it loads and then it's a little bit like back like this, so it's not in full battery, and you don't want your weapon to be like that, because if you go to fire it, it's not going to fire. It needs to be completely in battery and ready to go. So sometimes I'll find myself loading the weapon and having to push it in the back piece right here, the back strap, just slightly pushing, and you'll hear a little click. That happens sometimes, but yeah, I think they made it a little bit longer here as compared to some of the other subcompact Glock guns, because those aren't that long from here. They're a little bit shorter, and I'm assuming it's because this cartridge is so long compared even to the 45. But if I had to compare any other Glock to this one, it would be the 45 version. It's a lot thicker, don't know if you guys can see the thickness here on this weapon. This is a thick weapon. It's way thicker than a 9 or 40. Yeah, way thicker than a 9 or 40 or 380. This is about the same thickness as a 45 Glock. So the 45 version of this Glock would be, let's see, it's the Glock 30. The Glock 30 would be the exact subcompact like this, Glock 30, and then the Glock 21 would be the big brother, as opposed to the Glock 20, which is 10 millimeter. I like this gun a lot. I like the kick on it. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's Glock. At the end of the day, it's very reliable. So reliable gun. There's a reason why most police departments around the world are carrying this. I think military carries this as well. Very nice gun. So yeah, we went over all that. In my opinion, you know, I keep it in this type of holster just because I don't really keep it on me. I'm comfortable with this gun being in the holster like this. And I go ahead and just put it in center console right next to me if I'm traveling, wherever I'm traveling to. Yeah, overall, pretty good gun. We said we were going to do the review from our last Sunday-Gunday video. We were going to do a review on the Glock 10 millimeter. Personally, I know a few people that have owned the Glock 20. They're comfortable with it. Some people are not comfortable with it. For me, if I'm not working, I'm going to carry something that's compact, smaller, just because I want to make it less obvious that I have a weapon on me. But yeah, so that's the video for today. That's our gun review on the 10 millimeter Glock 10 millimeter Glock 29. So we're gonna go ahead and give our shout outs as we usually do. We have a shout out for Gun Freak Nation, another Gun 2A channel on YouTube that we collaborate a lot with. We do some lives with sometimes when we have a chance. We'll do lives. T Electric, Gun Freak Nation. We have Trey57 Productions, also on YouTube. And then finally we have the Alert Zone TV with Uncle James, another great channel. All three of these channels do content like we do. Reviews on firearms, reviews on other safety equipment, medical equipment, cooking on their channel. They cook like us. They do all kinds. It's a mixture of stuff. They do that all the time. We just do this on Sundays. That way we can switch up the content on the channel and give you guys something else to look into. And so we'll catch you guys on another episode. This is episode I think it's episode 4 now. I think I lost track, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe, stay armed, and cheers. We'll see you in the next episode.